Alright, we're back. Just gotta deal with an anti-tax movement. Because for reasons. Well, the Communist Party specifically. It's difficult for me to get through this. The regressive tax to progressive tax, so. Although the laissez-faire movement should not revolt, especially once this expires in a few weeks. But moving to a progressive tax system is going to somewhat increase my tax income, but more importantly, it will shift a lot of the tax burden off the poor, which will improve their standard of living and increase consumption, which will cause the economy to explode. I mean, the textile industry is already exploding in requirements, and I'm sure furniture is doing the same. Oh yes. Yes, it has. I've also been slowly nationalizing Austro-Hungarian and German industry. I'm not getting any revenue for... yeah, okay. Oh, it's subsidizing. Railways, power plants, battery pads. Okay, yeah. The instrument workshops is a bit suspect. I really shouldn't have it this high. But yes, I am slowly nationalizing things. I do plan on building up more worker co-op companies, so... And I've definitely moved towards generally socialist laws, so... Ignore the foreign policy, I got that one on. It's difficult to tell which ones are which. Like the flexible foreign policy and all that. Okay, okay. Laissez-faire movement has stopped being annoying. And my rigidity is finally at a reasonable level, so... I can start doing some repeatables. So long as I'm fairly careful. I don't know why atheist ends up appearing so often. But I think if you don't... Okay. I think separation of church and state does that. Just automatically. Katlupka, Shiite, Stone, Catholic, Confucian, Animist, Orthodox, Hindu, yeah. I've been getting a lot of immigration, so it's genuinely not surprising. Thanks to the fact that socialists support multiculturalism. Huh, that's interesting. No. I'm unrecognized. The Italians have a much more powerful military than me. Let the liberal movement die. They've had their heyday. It should be over. There we go. Progressive tax system in place. And the laissez-faire movement is going to be annoyed for a while, but it's never going to be that bad. Would like to restrict the power of the executive, but I don't think I can manage that. Not without moving to a supreme legislature somehow, which is not particularly possible. I'd rather just stick with no home affairs. What now? I guess I can turn on workers' protections. Turn on the minimum wage. Fine. Set it to 75%. I don't think it's really necessary considering, well, just things in general. Thankfully, the financial districts and all that are disappearing. Capitalists are still around, but there's not many of them. Sadly, I can't push economic affairs any harder, so that's it with the amount of worker-owned buildings. 90% for agricultural stuff, and 80% for all other buildings. Of course, that doesn't include the companies, which is nice. However, I still need to get rid of stuff like this. And no one's buying. Sure, the money's going straight to the investment pool. I'd rather it go into my coffers. Because otherwise the investment pool just grows way too large. It's business interests and market liberals. I do not care. In the slightest. My prestige is, however, rapidly increasing from the expanding power of my army and navy. Okay, I can now build basic batteries and electronic components at factories. There's no real reason to build them yet. Not really. Okay, maybe not battery plants, but electronic components, yes. The battery plants are over here with electrical generation. After that, well, tier 3 tech is done. I might get pump jacks first. I'll do modern physics immediately for the boost to tech research. Though I do not need uranium for a while. A long, long while. Definitely want to get the radio set up though. What do I need? Telephone, electrical capacitors. Oh, telephones are fine. And apparently Chile has now activated an interest in one of my areas. So of course they're immediately lowering relations. Yippee. Shiite theocracy. Anxiety imminent. Don't really care. Reactionary movement is unhappy. I don't care at all. They're as unhappy as can be. Oh, nice. No, cavalry, trap artillery. Bedouin has a big military industry, so it's the best spot to put stuff. And a lot of unemployment too, so. The Yoruba states technically has a lot of employment, but not really. There are some severe issues with over-construction. Thankfully, that's pretty much maxed out, the throughput, so I don't need coffee plantations anywhere else. Not really. Especially once I start to get really high map-I, which is possible with these later levels. A lot of them increase map-I. Or some of them increase map-I. Highway systems. Where is it? International travel doesn't. No, financial deregulation does as well. There's the counterculture. Surf's up. Okay, I do wonder what makes the communists in favor of state media. Is it just Vandergist? Yeah, it's probably just Vandergist. I think it's under internationalist. No? No? Party Socialist? No? Subjugated security state. Yeah, there it is. Oh, they don't care about whether it's censorship state, media, or no speech interference. I think tech spread might actually be high enough. I'm going to just jump straight to modern physics. Yeah, okay. If it does seem to be not the case, then I'll swap over. Sealing strategies. Okay. Oh yeah, pump track means I can improve efficiency by starting to use motors. I don't have that, okay, I don't have that few engines, but I do need to be careful about where I put these. I definitely need more fruit though. So I'll start with the smaller ones. and work along. Continentation. Savoy is an Italian puppet that could be annexed at any point now. Really, the best part is that apparently Germany is extremely interested in continuing positive relations with me, so... And I'm not entirely sure why, but they are. So it shall continue. So Revolution of Bombay. Oh. Smakran. It's too far away for me to even intervene. I didn't think about intervening. Would have been nice, after all. And the East Indies ate Lunfang. Sad. Gone, never to be seen again. Do I have enough? Yeah, okay, I can do something. Is syndicalism spreading? Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, the communists are slowly losing popularity. Oh yes, the first demographic stage is definitely progressing to the second. That's good, but there is potential for the second to follow. If they're inland, I can't do anything about that. I mean, you elected them. You can always recall them, right? That is part of the law description. The police force is elected by local councils and subject to withdrawal elections. Yeah. They really are being too brutal. Do the withdrawal elections. They exist for a reason. Anyway, I'm wondering... Okay, so... Hardwood's even more plentiful than wood now. Maybe not. Like, divert more construction. In ways other than just turning off my own construction. I mean, I should be fine for the gold reserves to decrease for a while. I'm above the limit, so... Oh, I need a general. Hmm. I think I should just leave it for a while. Current state of the laws is just fine as it is. Or I can't change things in a better direction. Yeah, what's weird is that the cost of construction goods isn't consistent. It keeps shifting around. Probably just the cost of steel changing, warping, etc. Yeah, look into it more. Okay, so iron mines have maxed out here. Some more iron would be good. This will increase the cost of explosives, but it will make steel even easier to produce. That just means build more explosives. It's that simple. Okay, maybe not that many. There. It's probably a bit better. Should also look into more coal exploitation with explosives. I can only do so much at a time. It's definitely one of the places where I want to use motors to produce more rubber. How are the motors? Fine, although I could use more. Mid-use Industries has for sure managed to get itself also to the locals. The UK is busy with Russia. Wonder who else is involved in this war. A lot of people are involved in wars. Some degree or another. Too ideologically similar. What? It's probably because they have trade unions. How are we too ideologically similar? They have, you don't know, they have republic, oligarchy, appointed on advice, and advisory body. How is that in any way similar? Austria-Hungary would support. I want to get 20 infamy for trying to ban slavery. Now, using that as a pretext to conquer territory. I get that. Oh, Ireland's there. Some devolution, I presume. this a separate war? No, Mexico versus Netherlands. This is all the Mexico versus the Netherlands, isn't it? New elections. Oh, time to bring you in. Bring even more votes to the anarchist society. Yep, they're now the second biggest. And the Social Democrats are getting a lot of it. Wow. Yeah, like I said, cruel. The chairwoman is cruel, so... Look at the raw population numbers. Ah. Right. And I'm early in the recording session, or relatively early. How early is it? I do want to continue playing. Okay, I'll just plug the headphones in. Grab the charging cable here first. Although I personally think that syndicalism should spread faster if somehow trade unionists happen to be in the same party as anarchists. Of course, the likelihood of any anarchist joining a party is slim until you actually get into Council Republic, but... Going is that? Nope, okay. For Hausaland, Chad, East Hausaland, Benin, Yoruba states. Should be enough to get things started. Oh, synthetic dye's here. As is art silk. Well, if need be, I think I can produce silk via hydroponics. That's late game though. Like, really late game. So. Oh, well, actually. No, it's too late. There was a possibility to go Dove politics, not Dove politics, armed neutrality, and then, had I thought of that? But I wasn't expecting the reformist socialists to have a sudden spike in power like this, so. How bad is this? Chronic obstructionism. Aha. I need to rework this again. Lovely. This is the policing, wasn't it? Of course the anarchists would be antagonistic towards this. It's gonna drop it. That's what happened. Okay. Oh jeez. It's starting to increase in population, isn't it? Yeah. There's also unfilled cabinet positions. Yay. Specs are streaming in. Okay, I should have enough put together to... No, I don't. I burned most. Nah, oh come on. It has 36 ways. Imperious character trait. I should increase trade centers. I went too far down, didn't I? There they are. 168. Okay, I do produce way more merchant marine than I need, so... Although it may not be produced, it's probably import. Oh yeah. Well, okay, maybe not. I produce exactly the amount I need. It's just that merchant marine is so ludicrously cheap that... Well, more of it is produced than needed, so... There's a lot extra on the world market. So, fairly cheap to obtain. How many radicals is this generating? 165. Standard of living is just spiked. I'm not entirely sure why. Perhaps there's a slowdown in the amount of many things. How did this get through with 23% multiple times? They already have suffrage, so Annoyingly, that means I need to replace foreign affairs. Getting Melanesian people coming in. Already done. Of course, things will immediately swap around, so instead of dove politics, I'm going to have probably flexible foreign policy, due to the fact that the Social Democrats have a liberal patriotic. Oh good, bringing them in the government has fixed their stats. Okay. Good. I was afraid it was going to get worse. They're probably going to go for a flexible foreign policy. It's not going to be jingoism, but this setup are the 3 flexible foreign policies. Anyway, I did get that. I think it does it unlock laws? Not okay. Restrict hazardous mining, but barely anyone's interested in that. Nothing involving uranium usage. This requires transnational activism. Also this. This allows multiple production methods. Yeah, it's just power plants. There are throughput reductions, sadly, but it will enable the recycling center PM, which turns my urban centers into resource producers. Of course, this depends on how far I've gotten in the tech tree, which ones I can choose. So I can get iron and tier 6. In tier 7, aluminum becomes available. Paper is tier 8, but paper's paper, it's not that useful. Plastic at tier 9, and then I can get mixed recycling at tier 10, which gives me a bit of everything. Probably the most useful one when it comes to plastic. It's the most productive one, probably. Be helpful with bad economics. I'll probably do once... Okay, it's pretty much recovered. Okay. Military reform. I mean, it's the laissez faire movement. Why shouldn't I lower? I don't know why the anarchists are the one that get hit by this, though. It's a bit odd. Appointment. Okay. Ultramilitarism is considered one of those. Potentially, if it comes up. Okay. It has to be on appointment. My finance is this bad. Oh yeah, things have gotten pretty bad with welfare payments. Okay, I definitely need to start considering getting people employed. very least, things are dramatically improving. My GDP is spiking. Population has it's still far higher than it was before. Standard of living is number 8. I mean, number 25 is number 4 is with the model dives, which don't really count because of how small they are. Okay. That should dramatically increase research speed for a while. I do need radio production just so I can keep going. Radicals are fine. I've got so many loyalists. Okay, gold reserves are filling. There's insufficient construction for the investment pool, but I don't have that much. I think that a lot of the investment pool is due to the fact that there's still quite a bit of national ownership. And that stuff all goes straight into the investment pool. More workforce dividends end up appearing than, well, as these privatize, then standard of living will increase fast. I think I'm even reinvesting. No. At the very least, the sale of business data is making up for some of the costs, but what the heck, jingoism? Oh, because they're a jingoist. Now that's gonna be fun. But I'm getting a lot of military research speed from that, so that's cool. Okay, I'll try to stick with that for as long as possible, although I do very much know that's not gonna be possible. Telephones unlocked, I get more declared interests available. At least now I know I can use aggressive diplomatic plays. particular reason why I can't do that specifically? Oh, I need low relations with the Dutch. I'm not gonna ask why there are Austro-Hungarian flags there. My armory isn't quite there yet, but yeah. just even with that, it's going to apparently increase in influence. Huh. Ah, it's been unusual for someone to back down from an annexation request. Time to adjust the various things. Bring in the fertilizers. No need for straight lines, but no problem. This setup, okay. Explosive shells. We need steam chips. Steam trawlers. And more automation in general. There just isn't enough people here for everything that's been built. Maybe coffee? Yeah, sure. Definitely want to get this stuff, after all. It's copper. Copper is ludicrously valuable. Even if I can only build 10 from Aromia, it's still going to help. Where's it really bad? Nigeria. There is no production in Nigeria. Ah, that explains a lot. Wadai and Bornu. Also Darfur. And Chad too, I guess, but there's very little population here. There's not much point to actually building anything. Okay, fine. Fine, I'll go ahead and do it. I definitely need to turn on mechanisms. So. I wish they would stop politicking those generals. Gets annoying after a while. "71 infamy, jeez. Thank you. Okay, but my Geneva Convention membership also increases infamy decay speed, so it's not as problematic as it might look. Well, okay, maybe, but there is the fact that an election is in 2 years. Okay, fine. That's not actually a problem to improve army conditions. Actually, wait, no, there's no chance of that passing. Great. Minor concessions it is, then. To permanently increase standard of living. Yeah, I mean, I'm number 6 in standard of living. And I'm probably one of the few countries with multiculturalism, so... Cosmopolitanism, actually. Such is its name. Another Korean mass migration. What? Okay, this is where the fun starts to begin with electrification. Problem is each one takes 10 electricity, and electricity is not easy to come by. So I need to pick an area that has textile mills, but yeah. And some electricity production. Enough electricity production. Yeah. Yep, what it does is that it slowly builds up the... Where is it? Yeah, minor concessions thing there. Which every time I do it, builds up even higher. There's a way to consistently get more standard of living. Not the only way, of course not. There is a way. I need more bureaucracy. Well, I still can. I'd like to increase this back up in order to get more change, rigidity change rate, and institution change speed, as well as this in order to further increase education access. Higher literacy is incredibly important. So, because it can only construct the government administration oh so fast, especially thanks to Tech and Res's adjustment to construction speeds. I'm not increasing social security though. Welfare payments make up like a quarter of my national expenses. Well, fixed national expenses to be precise. So, and it's the biggest single item. Military goods is second. And then come government goods, government wages, military wages, and then treaties. Wait. Oh, right, because I'm buying and the steel and selling it to them. I'm actually making a small amount of money off the treaty. If I really, really need money, I could tax coffee, but I don't need it that much. And if I really do need money, I can always just pause construction. After all, most of this private construction is being done by companies or the workforce, so. But, yeah, okay, I've overstepped time again. Alright, I'll stop here for the moment. Well, I've got jingoism now, so I've been starting to work my way into Ethiopia. Warsongli is a friend, so... Not doing anything there for the time being. fully admit there really isn't very much here, so can't exactly do anything to improve upon things. Guess I could try getting electricity access. Yeah, this province state definitely needs more people to migrate in here, but it's fairly low thanks to the standard of living only being decent. There's only so much I can do though. I'll privatize stuff, as per usual. There are fewer and fewer foreign-owned buildings. Although I'm doing this slowly and over time, in order to avoid annoying people too much. And not drain the treasury too much. It's not like I can actually join any power block. The Russians do have the largest leverage on me, but I've got a lot of unclaimed leverage for multiple reasons. The biggest one probably being elected police. Now, that doesn't actually do anything. Protectionism probably helps. Actually, I do have a lot of leverage resistance reductions. Apparently the infamy generation from Jingoism is somewhat annoying. I do like the... Okay, so the reduction here isn't that helpful, but the military research speed is really good. And extra maneuvers could be helpful, should anything interesting happen. I'm also pretty close to hitting the second demographic stage. The reason why it's taking so long is because I keep getting immigrants, and I've got cosmopolitanism, so... Those are both big reducers, and I haven't gotten feminism yet, so I can't actually do... well, women's suffrage, which I will do immediately. There's no reason not to. But yes, things are looking great for the moment. I'm also balancing rigidity in order to get some repeatables in. Good ones, anyway. But yes, I believe that's it for now. I'll see you again next time. Till then.